unfortunately, I didn't get the fun years. I got the teen years. Yeah. And let me tell you, I remember saying things, you know, when I was a kid, I'll never do that to my kids. And then here I am to the 16-year-old. You know, I'm not even going to get into it because it would take too long. And then I'm like, oh man, I promised myself I wouldn't do that. But that's when you notice, and you have to be gentle. Like, okay, I noticed. Now, what do I want to do next time? How do I want that to look the next time I engage him in that? Like getting him to cut the lawn. Oh, you know, that's all I ask. Can you just cut the lawn? Oh, can't even get him to cut the lawn. And then I end up on the mower. At least it's a driving mower, you know, which is kind of fun, actually. All right. So you want to change how you talk to yourself. All right. How many of you have ever experienced changing how you talk to yourself in the middle of being negative?
Successfully?
Yeah. Or not successfully, that's okay too.
Yeah, successfully.
Yeah. Okay. How good does that feel? Don't you feel powerful? Because you're like, wow, I'm in control of my brain, right? Right? Okay. So we're all going to get in control of our brain right now. You ready? This is really hard. Okay. If you're taking notes, write it down. All right, we're going to take a break. Stand up. Just kind of shake a little bit. All right. This isn't really a part of what I was doing. I was just prepping you in a funny way. All right. Everybody just stretch a little. If you don't want to do this, do your own. But I kind of like this because it gets your back straight, you know, and then you can kind of lean a little bit. I hope you guys like active things, okay? Just shake it out a little bit. Because, you know, most of you have been sitting all day, right? We don't want to sit the whole time, okay? I get the good job. I get to stand up here. Really quickly about something that I haven't mentioned yet, and that's we have two systems, two parts of our nervous system. We have the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, okay? You don't need to remember those right now, but what you need to remember is one is a part of getting us excited and saving us in danger. The other calms us down, okay? So, it used to be that they thought they weren't completely independent, like if one's on, the other's off, okay? And in many ways, that's true. If one's on, the other is effectively off. But then they figured out that athletes, really good athletes, find a way to have both operating. They're excited but calm. Okay? You might call it their sweet spot. Okay? So we find that's a place of flow, guys. To be excited about your life, but calm. Doesn't that sound good? Yeah. So start incorporating that, by the way. So I wanted you to know, first of all, that you can have that. You can be excited about life, but also be calm. You don't have to be jumping around, you know, we've all met those people, right? They'd be up here, and I'm not going to do it because it'll ruin his camera, you know. But, you know, they'd be like walking back and forth and jumping up and down, and you'd have to have 4 cameras. All right? But you can be standing up here like I am and have both, okay? That's also part, I'm not saying that's being a lifeaholic. It's just one thing you can have, okay? Is have that kind of balance. You also can be in flow and be excited. You can be in flow and be calm, okay? It's all the whole gamut. All right, so now that we know that, now that we know we can engage both, that might be something you want to incorporate also in your visualizing. Like, what do you want? You want to be calm and excited? You want to be just excited? You want to be calm? What do you want? Okay? Visualize the kind of day you want. Visualize how that looks for you. All right? And you're going to breathe. Okay? There's a theme here, isn't there? Okay. Make sure you breathe and you start visualizing. You want to make sure that you know how you feel. Okay? Now I want to spend a few minutes on this because we forget this a lot of times when we're visualizing, and the feeling is the punch. Okay? The more intense you can make it, the more involved you make it with your feeling, that intensifies that visualization and makes it more real. And here's one of the coolest things and why visualizing worked with the goals. Because the brain doesn't know any different. It doesn't know that you didn't practice. As far as it was concerned, you went out there and you kicked the ball, okay? Sure, it didn't have the physical, but it had everything going on in here, okay? It doesn't know any different. And if you add the emotional component, it's that punch. If you want to achieve a goal, it's an exciting goal, then have that excitement, have it be a part of it. If you want to just have an expectation of it coming to you, have the expectation of it coming to you. Okay? Use your emotions to make this more powerful. And if you find yourself getting anxious when you do that, stop, because you don't want to connect them. Stop. Breathe, calm down, and then work on visualizing it again. Okay? I just slipped that in. Did that make sense? If you're anxious, stop yourself. Because you don't want to connect your anxiety to what you're visualizing. What happens? So that's an intense emotion, isn't it? Now you're anxious about your goal.
Yes.
No, it's not worth it. You get in that cycle, pull yourself out. Go do something else if you can't get there. Go do something else, get distracted, then try again another time. You want to connect it. You want to be in a good place when you do this. Okay? All right. How does it look? You want to do that down to the finest detail. Okay. When I was a lot younger, they used to teach us in school, maybe it was elementary school, to think about the beach or whatever, something that would be your calm place, right? Your nice place. And they'd say, even think about the sand, how it feels in your feet, right? The good place, okay? Well, that's the way you want to look at it here. You want to go, okay, where do I want to go? Do I want eventually to be, well, give me a profession. Real estate agent. Okay, do they have some kind of top real estate agent that you could be?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Like what? Give me.
Well, the lowest level is $1 million club.
$1 million club? Okay, well, let's go higher.
Lifetime member of $1 million club.
Lifetime
10
member.
years in a row.
Lifetime member, $1 million club, and you're not there yet, but you want to be there, right? What would that feel like? What would it look like? Do you get an award?
Make lots of money.
You make a lot of money. Do you ever go on stage or anything? Or do people congratulate you for making it?
Publicity.
You get a lot of publicity. Okay, so she would visualize that publicity, right? And then she'd visualize maybe all the different newspapers it might be in, or the different magazines, down to the finest detail, as detailed as you can get, even putting up articles of people that have done it, so you get it in your mind, okay? And then she'd visualize, include the emotion in that visualization, so she's got the punch. And it might even have smells. I don't know. It might be a successful dinner. Lobster. I don't know. Steak. Whatever you like. Maybe you're vegetarians. What?
Steak and lobster.
Steak and lobster for those of us that eat these things. Maybe you have really good cheese. I don't know. Who's a vegetarian? You'd have to give me some. All right. I have to eat meat. I don't know how to give it up. All right. So. How does it feel physically? That would be another detail, and I went into that a little bit with the sand. But with yours, it might feel like you're getting invited to a lot of meetings, right? So you have to go to all these different meetings, and so you feel maybe even a little tired, right? You go to bed exhausted from all the attention you got. Right, and then you hire a personal trainer to get a little. Oh, another great personal trainer, although I haven't had the experience, but I've heard great things about her as well. Resney, you guys. All right, so guess what I have next? Anybody? If you don't know the answer to the last thing that I've listed. Practice, practice, practice. Whew. Because we're not going for permanence, right? We just want to make these things a habit. Can you see how this could benefit you? How many of you do it right now?
Practice. Oh, visualizing.
Visualizing?